Welcome to this comprehensive training on management innovations and our flagship program, ODeX. ODeX stands for Organization Development for Extraordinary Organizations. In the next 15 to 20 minutes, we will explore the philosophy, framework, and transformative approach that makes ODeX unique and powerful. This training is designed specifically for OD associates who will be working with entrepreneurs, founders, and directors of mid-size businesses and institutions. Your role is critical in helping these leaders build extraordinary organizations that can thrive in today's complex and rapidly changing world. By the end of this training, you will understand the core philosophy, the 5 pillars framework, and how to effectively introduce ODeX to potential participants. Let's begin this journey together. Before we dive into the program details, let's start with a fundamental question. What do we believe about human beings? This might seem like a philosophical question, but it actually shapes everything we do in organizations. Your answer to this question determines how you lead, how you design systems, how you treat people, and ultimately, what kind of organization you build. Organizations are reflections of these deep beliefs. If you believe people need to be controlled, you build controlling systems. If you believe people can be trusted, you build empowering systems. Today, we're going to examine these assumptions carefully, because this is where transformation truly begins. Here is the foundational philosophy of management innovations, and it's simple but profound. Humans are source, not resource. Think about what this means. We are not just inputs to be optimized, managed, or utilized. We are not cogs in a machine to be replaced when worn out. We are the originators of creativity. We are the creators of knowledge. We are the makers of meaning. Traditional management thinking, which emerged from the industrial era, often treats people as human resources. The very term reveals the underlying assumption. But when we shift this paradigm, when we truly see people as source rather than resource, everything changes. How we lead changes. How we design work changes. How we build culture changes. How we develop talent changes. This single shift in perspective is the foundation of everything we do at Management Innovations. Let's examine why the traditional human resources mindset falls short. This industrial era thinking emerged when work was largely manual and repetitive. In that context, perhaps it made some sense to think of workers as resources to be managed. But we no longer live in that world. Today's work requires creativity, judgment, collaboration, and innovation. When people are treated as interchangeable parts, several things happen. Their unique potential remains untapped. They hold back their best ideas because they don't feel valued. Engagement drops, and with it, commitment and performance. Research consistently shows that most employees are not fully engaged at work. They're showing up physically, but their hearts and minds are elsewhere. This is not because people don't want to contribute. It's because organizations have not created environments where people can bring their full selves to work. This is the problem ODeX addresses. So what exactly is an extraordinary organization? We define it through 3 essential characteristics. First, it is future-ready. This means the organization can anticipate and adapt to change, rather than just reacting to it. In a world of constant disruption, being future-ready is not optional. It's survival. Second, people bring their head, heart, and soul to work. They're not just showing up physically or even just intellectually. They're emotionally invested and spiritually connected to the mission. When people bring their whole selves, extraordinary things become possible. Third, the organization makes a positive impact on society. It's not just about profits or shareholder value. It's about making a meaningful difference in the world. Purpose beyond profit. These three characteristics work together. An organization cannot be truly future-ready without engaged people. And engaged people want to be part of something that matters. Something that makes a positive difference. This is the vision we hold for every organization we work with. One of the key intellectual foundations of ODeX is Theory U, developed by Dr. Otto Scharmer at the MIT Sloan School of Management. Most organizations and most people learn from the past. We analyze what happened, try to understand it, and then try to improve. This is useful, but it has limits. Theory U proposes something different and more powerful, learning from the emerging future. At the bottom of the U is what Scharmer calls presencing. This word combines presence and sensing. It's about being fully present in the moment while sensing what wants to emerge. What is trying to happen? This is not mystical or vague. It's a practical discipline of deep listening, letting go of old assumptions, and letting new possibilities come forward. Theory U provides the framework for how we approach transformative change. We're not just trying to fix problems or optimize what exists. We're creating space for something new to emerge. This is fundamentally different from traditional consulting or training approaches. ODeX is built on 5 integrated pillars. This is crucial to understand. These are not separate modules that you can pick and choose from. They work together as a comprehensive system for organizational transformation. The 5 pillars are transforming leadership, transforming culture, breakthrough competitive strategy, strategy execution, and talent management. Think of these as interconnected elements. Leadership shapes culture. Culture enables or blocks strategy. Strategy requires execution. And everything depends on talent. When we work on all 5 together, we create sustainable transformation. When organizations try to address just one in isolation, the changes rarely stick. Let me walk you through each pillar in detail so you can understand both what we do and why it matters. The first pillar is transforming leadership. This is where everything begins. Notice we say transforming leadership, not training leadership. This isn't about learning new techniques or skills, though those are included. It's about fundamental transformation of how leaders see themselves and their role. In this pillar, leaders learn to become creators of possibility. Instead of just managing what is, they learn to envision and bring forth what could be. This requires moving beyond traditional command and control approaches. Command and control made sense when information flowed slowly and expertise resided at the top. Today, information moves instantly and expertise is distributed throughout the organization. Transforming leadership requires deep self-awareness. Leaders must understand their own patterns, assumptions, and blind spots before they can effectively lead others. Most importantly, we work on creating leaders at every level of the organization. Leadership is not a position or title. It's a choice and a practice that anyone can embrace. When leadership transforms at the top and throughout the organization, culture begins to shift. The second pillar is transforming culture. Think of culture as the operating system of the organization. Just as your computer's operating system determines how all applications run, culture determines how everything in the organization functions. Many organizations have beautiful values statements posted on their walls. But culture is not what you say. Culture is what you do. Culture is the patterns of behavior that are rewarded, tolerated, or punished. We work on creating values-driven behaviors that are lived every day. This means translating abstract values into concrete actions that people can observe and practice. Building psychological safety is essential to culture transformation. Psychological safety means people feel safe to speak up, to disagree, to take risks, to make mistakes and learn from them. Without safety, you get compliance but not commitment. Trust is the foundation of high-performing teams. Trust takes time to build and can be destroyed in moments. We help organizations understand and cultivate trust. The goal is a culture that balances innovation with accountability. People are encouraged to try new things and held accountable for results. These are not opposites. They work together. Culture change is slow and difficult. That's why ODeX is a 6-month program, not a 2-day workshop. The third pillar is breakthrough competitive strategy. We use the Playing to Win framework, which was developed by Roger Martin and A.G. Lafley. Roger Martin is one of the world's leading business thinkers, and A.G. Lafley was the CEO who transformed Procter & Gamble. The key insight of this framework is outside-in thinking versus inside-out thinking. Most organizations think inside-out. They start with their products, their capabilities, their history, and then try to find customers. This leads to incremental thinking and often missed opportunities. Outside-in thinking starts with the customer and the market. What do customers really need? How is the competitive landscape evolving? What could be possible? Then you work backward to determine what you need to build. The framework centers on answering 5 key questions. The most important are: where will we play? This is about choices. You cannot be everything to everyone. And how will we win? This is about competitive advantage. What will make customers choose you? When leaders clearly answer these questions, it creates focus and alignment for the entire organization. Everyone understands where we're going and why. This strategic clarity is often what mid-size businesses lack. They try to do too much, serve too many markets, and end up differentiated in nothing. The fourth pillar is strategy execution. Here's a sobering reality. Many organizations struggle not with strategy creation, but with execution. Studies suggest that most strategies fail not because they're bad strategies, but because they're poorly executed. There's often a significant gap between what's planned in the boardroom and what actually happens on the front lines. People don't understand the strategy. They don't see how their work connects. Competing priorities create confusion. We work on closing this strategy execution gap. First, we help create clear goals and metrics that everyone can understand. Not vague aspirations, but specific outcomes with measurable indicators. Second, we ensure alignment across the organization. Everyone from senior leaders to frontline employees should understand how their work contributes to strategic success. Third, we establish regular review and adaptation processes. Strategy is not a one-time event. It needs ongoing attention. What's working? What's not? What needs to change? The organizations that win are not necessarily those with the best strategies. They're the ones that execute relentlessly and adapt quickly. The fifth pillar is talent management. Extraordinary organizations need extraordinary people. But extraordinary doesn't mean perfect or superhuman. It means people who are engaged, growing, and contributing their best. This pillar addresses the complete talent lifecycle. It starts with attracting the right people. This means clarity about what right means for your organization. It's not just about skills and experience. It's about values alignment, cultural fit, and potential. Development becomes a top priority in extraordinary organizations. These organizations invest continuously in growing their people. Not just training programs, but stretch assignments, mentoring, coaching, and real opportunities to learn. We help organizations look at both performance and potential. Current performance matters, but so does future potential. Some people are ready for bigger roles. Some need more time to develop. Getting this right is crucial. And succession planning ensures continuity. Who will lead this organization in 5 years? 10 years? Are we developing the next generation of leaders? Too many organizations ignore this until there's a crisis. Remember our foundational philosophy. People are source, not resource. Talent management is how we live that philosophy in practice. Now let's talk about how ODeX is actually structured and delivered. The program runs for 6 months. This duration is intentional. Real transformation doesn't happen in a weekend workshop or a 2-day retreat. It requires time for new ideas to sink in, for new behaviors to be practiced, for new habits to form. Participants meet 1 weekend per month for intensive in-person sessions. These sessions are immersive and experiential. They combine learning with reflection, individual work with group dialogue. Between the weekend sessions, participants receive 18 coaching sessions. These one-on-one sessions help participants apply what they're learning to their specific situations and challenges. The program uses an action learning approach. This means participants work on real challenges from their own organizations, not theoretical case studies. Every learning is immediately applicable. Throughout the 6 months, participants are supported, challenged, and held accountable. They're not alone on this journey. They're part of a cohort of fellow leaders who are also committed to transformation. This combination of intensive sessions, ongoing coaching, and real-world application is what makes ODeX effective. Who is the ideal participant for ODeX? Let me give you a clear profile. ODeX is designed for entrepreneurs and founders who have built something significant and want to take it to the next level. They've achieved success but sense there's more possible. They're willing to look at themselves and their organizations honestly. It's for directors and senior leaders who have real decision-making authority. ODeX requires organizational commitment, not just individual attendance. Participants need the power to implement what they learn. We focus on mid-size businesses. These are organizations large enough to have real complexity, multiple departments, real systems challenges, but they're still nimble enough to transform. Very small startups often don't need this level of intervention. Very large corporations often can't move fast enough. Most importantly, ODeX is for leaders who are genuinely committed to transformation. This is not for those looking for quick fixes or magic solutions. It requires commitment, vulnerability, and hard work. When you're speaking with potential participants, you're listening for this commitment. Are they ready to do the work? Are they open to changing themselves, not just their organizations? As an OD associate, how should you approach potential participants? This is crucial to your success. Here is the key principle. Listen more than you talk. In fact, shut up and listen. Really listen. Too many salespeople talk too much. They're so eager to present their offering that they never understand what the prospect really needs. Be interested in them, not trying to be interesting yourself. Ask questions. Probe deeply. Understand their world, their challenges, their frustrations, their aspirations. Understand their challenges first, before you present any solutions. What keeps them up at night? What are they struggling with? What have they tried that hasn't worked? Remember, ODeX solves real problems when you understand someone's problems deeply. And you know that ODeX can address those problems. You're not selling. You're offering help. The leaders we want to work with are not looking for programs, they're looking for solutions to real challenges. Your job is to understand their challenges and show how ODeX can help. This approach requires patience and genuine curiosity, but it builds trust and leads to committed participants, not reluctant ones. Let me give you a practical framework for these conversations. Start with genuine curiosity. Ask about their organization, their journey, their vision. People love talking about what they've built and where they want to go. Ask open-ended questions like, what are you most proud of in your organization? What's your biggest challenge right now? What would need to change for you to reach the next level? Listen carefully for pain points. They might talk about leadership gaps, cultural issues, strategic confusion, execution problems, or talent challenges. These map directly to our 5 pillars. When you hear a challenge that ODeX addresses, you can connect naturally. You might say, "That's interesting. We work with organizations facing exactly that challenge. Let me share a bit about our approach." Notice that you're not launching into a pitch. You're responding to their expressed need with a relevant offering. If they're interested, explain ODeX in terms of their specific challenges. Don't just describe the program. Show how it addresses what they're facing. And if they're not the right fit, that's okay. Be honest about it. Not every organization is ready for ODeX. Referring someone away when it's not right builds trust and reputation. Let me share the vision of Management Innovations. It's ambitious, and it's inspiring. The goal is to transform 10,000 organizations in 10 years. Think about what that means. Each organization we transform doesn't exist in isolation. It has employees, often hundreds or thousands of them. Those employees have families. The organization has customers and communities it serves. So we're not just transforming organizations. We're creating ripple effects that touch millions of lives. When an organization becomes extraordinary, when people start bringing their head, heart, and soul to work, when leaders create environments of trust and possibility, everything changes. Employees become better parents and community members. Customers receive better products and services. Society benefits. We're building a movement, not just a business. Each OD associate, each participant, each transformed organization becomes part of something larger. This is the why behind everything we do. Not just business growth, but genuine positive impact on the world. When you understand this vision and believe in it, your conversations with potential participants take on a different quality. You're not selling a program. You're inviting them into a movement. Let me summarize the key takeaways from this training. First, remember the foundational philosophy. Humans are source, not resource. This is not just a nice saying. It's a fundamental belief that shapes everything we do. Keep this at the center of your conversations. Second, the 5 pillars of ODeX work together as an integrated system. Leadership, culture, strategy, execution, and talent. You can't just work on one in isolation. Real transformation requires addressing all 5. Third, real transformation takes time. That's why the program is 6 months. Be wary of leaders looking for quick fixes. They're not ready for ODeX. Fourth, when introducing ODeX, listen first and understand deeply. Be interested in them. Understand their challenges before presenting solutions. You are now equipped to represent management innovations in ODeX. Go out there and find leaders who are ready to build extraordinary organizations. The world needs more extraordinary organizations, and you can help create them. Thank you for watching this training on management innovations in ODeX. Together, we are creating extraordinary organizations. Organizations that are future-ready. Organizations where people bring their head, heart, and soul. Organizations that make a positive difference in the world. Remember, 10,000 organizations in 10 years. Each one touching thousands of lives. Go out and make a difference. Thank you.